Hey guys, this is Pip from Framing the Thought, and today we're going to be looking at Gustav Møller's The Guilty, which is a Danish film that explores police officer Asger Holm, played by Jakob Cedergren, who is working in emergency dispatch after being forced to take time off of active duty. The story follows a desperate Asger on his last night of emergency dispatch, trying to save a woman that has been kidnapped, all while being confined to his desk. My favorite part of this entire experience was the performance from Jakob Cedergren, because he took these long ass shots that could easily get boring and he made them full of emotion with the movement of his eyes and his expressions. The acting was done primarily by facial expressions, and it was very reminiscent of Tom Hardy and Locke. But in the end, I thought that Jakob did a slightly better job, which was supported by the cinematography, which sort of just let him loose and allowed him to become the emotional driving force of this entire film. I'm going to use Locke as a reference point for pretty much everything else as well, due to the fact that there's no better comparison. So while the screenplay for The Guilty was absolutely magnificent, it didn't quite reach how masterful Locke's was. This hampers how good it looks right away, but not by much, as there was some well done diversion of attention to keep you guessing. Another big thing that I'd like to touch on with the screenplay that I think The Guilty did superbly is the complexion of Asger, with how you are made to sympathize and be invested in him, even though you may not support his actions. The next big comparison would have to be with the cinematography, because as much as I loved the really emotional shots that helped me into Asger Holmes' story, the perfectly timed shot changes and locks snapped your attention back right when you felt you were about to lose it, and I felt like that was much more effective. The last thing there is to really talk about would be the lack of a soundtrack or score, which was actually extremely effective and a very good stylistic choice. Overall, next to Locke, The Guilty falls a little bit short, but that shouldn't discredit it at all, because it was still a masterful performance from Jakob Cedergren, with some very excellent writing behind him and emotionally driven cinematography. I'm going to give The Guilty an 8.8 out of 10. Thanks for watching, guys. I hope you're having a good week. Remember to like, subscribe, and comment. Ciao.